Hello and welcome. Today we're diving straight into how to get the very best assault rifles in Stalker 2. You can snag these for free, super early, pretty much right after leaving the starting zone. I'll give you a step-by-step guide with easy tricks to make this process a breeze. We'll also explore where to get the paid versions, where to upgrade, as well as where to get some of the excellent attachments. And since we can get the best two assault rifles early, I'm going to split this into two videos. Let's dive in. So who are the contenders for the best assault rifle? Well, the common misconception is that the S.T.A.L.K.E.R is the best assault rifle. However, the correct statement is more like the best assault rifle you can find without upgrading or adding any attachments, which the S.T.A.L.K.E.R is just a unique version of the S.T.A.L.K.E.R. But a fully upgraded S.T.A.L.K.E.R is actually better than the S.T.A.L.K.E.R due to the fact that the S.T.A.L.K.E.R can be upgraded to have better range and damage due to some of the muzzle configurations and upgrades, whereas the S.T.A.L.K.E.R, even with all the upgrades, still won't be as good as the S.T.A.L.K.E.R. But I definitely don't recommend getting the S.T.A.L.K.E.R early because it comes heavily upgraded. There is little to no value using this weapon early on. Now, just as a quick example of why, without going into too much detail, here is the S.T.A.L.K.E.R at 73% wear and tear, costing very close to 20,000 for repair at a neutral technician. We only got like a handful of magazines out of that. However, we compare that to the car rod that doesn't have any attachments and we used way more magazines. You can see it's at a fraction of the cost. And this permeates pretty much in all these examples. Wherever a gun is heavily upgraded, it might be better to stick to a more basic concept, at least in the early to mid game, just because the upkeep cost is insanity. We're better off using the best assault rifles with minimal upgrades to reduce the overall wear and tear and cost. Now, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. However, the true best assault rifle is the car rod, and I'll go through all the reasons why, but in the next video when we cover getting the S.T.A.L.K.E.R very early. However, do let me know what you think the best assault rifle is and why. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to get the best assault rifle. Now, in the previous video, we covered how to get the best shotguns. And as a recap, regardless if you start at the chemical plant or garbage, we're heading over to S.T.A.L.K.E.R. This is where we got the best shotgun, and while we're here, we may as well grab one of the best assault rifles, if not the best assault rifle. We're heading to this location up here, and we'll be starting this guide from the location of just picking up the shotgun, as we can pretty much grab this all in one run before returning to a technician back here in Rostock. So if you haven't got the best shotguns, I suggest going to watch that video first. Up in the top right, you'll see a link to it, or in the description. However, if you're not starting from picking up the shotgun, I would suggest starting your run from Rostock anyway. Or if you've already picked up the shotgun, you may want to just head to Rostock to regroup, because what we'll need for this next expedition in terms of items, make sure you have some grenades, make sure you have plenty of anti-radiation drugs, plenty of energy drinks, 3 to 4 vodkas or anything that will reduce radiation, and some substance, some food of some kind. With enough of those items, you should be fine. Keeping in mind, this is my test account with mods on, in order not to break my main save. However, no mods are on that should alter AI spawns, so everything should be exactly the same. Noting that whenever you're attempting this, I'd suggest trying to do this during the day, as the S.T.A.L.K.E.R can be quite treacherous with a variety of different enemies spawning. However, if we start down here and make our way up to the location, we can avoid a lot of the hassles. And I'll go over our exit route once we picked up the assault rifle. But in summary, wherever you come from, whether it be the chemical plant or Rostock, I would still be making our way from this angle and going up along this path to this location. That should help you mitigate and avoid a lot of the more aggressive and deadly enemies, and also doing it at daylight will help. I do recommend once you're here, do a save so you can start and come back to this point. So let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, so continuing on from where we picked up the shotguns, our expedition continues up to the S.T.A.L.K.E.R Dam, which is located right here. For the plotted course, we are just going to be sticking to this track up along here all the way until we get to this location. Some of the enemies you may encounter are stalkers, wild boars, bloodsuckers. If you're unlucky, there can be some snorks at nighttime, and some of the mutant rats. So depending on your luck, you may come across a few engagements, but it shouldn't be anything too bad. For me, I've got some friendlies here and they're helping me take out some of these swamp rats, but just something worth noting. Depending on which faction you're aligned in, this could be easier or more difficult, and depends on what AI are coming around. Also noting that the weapons I'm using is just the AKM and the Spaz, which are both weapons you'll have by now. Okay, so we've sprinted here. It takes no time at all. The landmarks you're looking for are all these vehicles parked along the edge here, and this is where the dam is. This is where we're going to find one of the best assault rifles, and just to give you a good visual indication, this is where we are. Now, in order to get down to this spot, we will need to use a little bit of finesse. First thing we're going to do is run over here, and then we're just going to kill the rats that are down here. For starters, it should just be one grenade, so it will be easy to get down. You'll note that there is no current ladder down. If you jump, you will most likely die. We're going to need to jump on these vehicles, which are very highly radiated. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the alcohol and help that to help prevent us taking some of this radiation damage. Now we're going to be jumping on top of the bus, train, whatever you call it, on top of the bus, jumping down here. Now if you don't want to do the car and the jumping, there is another way you can do it. We can just walk around the radiation, completely avoiding it, and then we can run and jump and land on that. Can take a little bit of a few goes. So just keep in mind, you probably want to save before jumping, otherwise you can die doing that. But if you use that method, you will avoid radiation completely. And now that we've jumped down, what I recommend is to do a save right here. And we're just going to, after the save, we're just going to pop the lock, enter in, sure you turn your light on, and here we have a room just chock full of loot. Now there's no radiation down here, so you can take your time. This little lever is going to drop the ladder, which I'll just quickly show you, which will be our exit route. That drops this down here, and the big thing is getting into this room. This is where we need to enter a code. Now when it comes to entering codes, never get it wrong. If you put in the wrong numbers or digits, just hit the X button. Never go the whole way of confirming it. If you get it wrong, a booby trap will be set off, which could kill you. However, we're going to be entering the code 5578. This will be the same code for everyone. If you're wondering how to get this code, I'll just quickly explain that now. We get it from going through this whole area and finding all the trucks that have this I symbol on it, as well as a scratched out number plate. Here we get the first 5 and would go along and search through this area to find the remaining trucks. But in order to save a ton of time, you can just put in the code to make this a much more viable option, because to get the code, you do need to duck in and out of the radiation zone, but we can skip that. Now that you understand how we got the code, we're going to hit enter, and this is where we're going to find the glorious K.R assault rifle. Pretty much the best, one of the best assault rifles in the game, as well as the large RPM 74 ammo box. Also noting that within this safe, we do have a blueprint, the Camel hydration system, which fits the PSZ 9D duty armor, and there is just so many good little things here. So make sure you go through the whole room, grab all the good stuff. Once we've cleared this whole room of loot, we're going to exit and we're going to make a save. Make sure all your guns are fully loaded. Now there is one unfortunate scenario where if you come out of here, you hear a bloodsucker scream. That's because 1 or 3 do have a path where they do walk past here. So you can grab their attention and sometimes be in an unfortunate situation where you have to burst some bloodsuckers. Now in my case, I'm lucky. I've actually got some friendlies that are just hanging around for whatever reason, and we may have to engage them. But if you do, there's a few easy options. You can just use your Red Bull and outrun them if you wanted to do that. Or you can even use these vehicles, as they can't attack you while you're on these vehicles, but you will need to mitigate it with lots of, what's it called, in my case, some alcohol, which is probably better just to use from your inventory. But this is just to give you an idea of one of the bad scenarios that you can come across where you may have to sort of combat some of these bloodsuckers. Now in my case, we only had to deal with 1, but it can be up to 3, and you may not have friendlies. So just keep that in mind. That is one of the scenarios. And that's it. That's how we can get the K.R super early, as well as a ton of other goodies. The awesome thing is it comes with 100% durability, as well as with a good amount of ammo. So you can pretty much just start using this from the get-go. So no repair cost for this, absolutely free, and we're good. And let's get out of here. And after that, I suggest we try and make our way to Rostock to regroup and get ready to get the next awesome best assault rifle. If you're going to try to do that, I would just try step through around these areas and try to keep along the path to get there. If you've got Red Bulls, make sure to slam those down just so you can get there quicker with less hassle. You may come across some bloodsuckers, but just slam down those Red Bulls and just keep sprinting. Then we're good to go. Now what's handy is, since we're in Rostock, we can stop by the traders here, where we can pick up 2 attachments straight away. If you want to, you can grab the assault rifle silencer, the 203 underbarrel, some grenade launcher rounds, setting you back roughly about 22,000 depending on your faction reputation. If you want to get the awesome shotgun upgrade, you will need to head over to Malachite, where we'll be able to purchase it off Victoria, where we can also grab the sight for it if you didn't have it already, the hole maker, which is the shotgun part, some extra grenade rounds too, not to mention a ton of different weapons here as well as some excellent armor. Getting these 3 will set you back 14k, so that's in Malachite, which is all the way to the left. Now if you're looking for the high capacity magazine, this is found at the fishing pier in Zayton. And a good place to start is just from the central hub here, which is where you can do all your trading. Then you'll need to make your way across a bit of a trek, but you'll find it in this very secluded location all the way into this area, and you'll find it in this stash right here. Now I'm still trying to find the paired magazine, so if you find it, definitely let me know. For the A.C.O.G 4x scope, we're heading to the chemical plant, to this area which is the army warehouse just west of the chemical plant. And if we head to this antenna tower, which you can't miss, you get up that by the ladders, you'll find the Mark 1 EMR, which we can remove the scope, which gives you the A.C.O.G 4x. Just to give you a better look, this is the whole area here, the military base. Quite a few enemies and stuff in here, so just be careful. But you'll find it on the tower here. And that's pretty much all the main attachments, bar the paired. Noting that we're missing the NBW 2x scope and the paired magazine. If you do want to purchase the car rod, you head to Yaniv, zooming into the town location where we can find Rec to purchase them or Harpy to upgrade. So here's Rec, noting that Rec also sells the A.C.O.G 4x scope, but you can get it for free. And if you want to purchase it, it will roughly set you back around 30,000 coupons. Noting you'll be able to get tons of extra good gear too here, as well as the A.C.O.G 4x scope, which we got for free, but you can purchase it for 7,500 coupons, as well as a holographic sight if you wanted to at 3.7 coupons. And that's how you'd purchase it and upgrade it. Just quickly showing you Harpy. Harpy will allow us to upgrade it. As an example, here we go, double clicking and getting these upgrades. Outside that pretty much concludes it. Losing my voice. Crazy long video in terms of getting it done. But thanks very much for watching. Definitely hang around if you enjoyed this. We're going to do the Denis Pro next. If you did get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way. Cheers.